Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting. Now, as you'll see here for the first time this week, I've got a little bit of championship gold on my shoulder, and I've got a new face on the Nightcap. He is a great brother, dare I say, the best brother. He is one of my best friends to date. I've got Gustavo, the silliest of gooses. You can catch him streaming on Twitch, Old School RuneScape Weekly. I've got good brother Keith on the Nightcap. How you doing tonight, Keith?
I'm doing well. Good brother Mike, thank you for having me. This is a match made in heaven, you and I, on the Nightcap.
It's a match
things get a little risque.
Things get a little risque. They might get a little freaky. We might even have a celebration tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm starting the show off with the main event of SmackDown. I'm doing everything ass backwards here on the Nightcap tonight, and that's why these NXT championships are being displayed, because former NXT champions DIY have captured main roster gold here on SmackDown, defeating A-Town Down Under for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, what a match. What a moment. I'm a big DIY guy. I know good brother Keith is. Keith, what did you think about this main event championship match to end SmackDown in the same place DIY won these very titles, Toronto?
This was meant to happen. We all know WWE loves that storybook ending for any type of feud, and this was the perfect ending for DIY to get the titles. Now, I'm very interested to see on what happens with A-Town Down Under following this. Are they going to believe, oh, he's just using you? Or are they going to be back better than ever and challenge DIY later down the road?
Very interesting to take note here. So, look, we'll take things back a couple steps here to the match itself. We've got comments flowing in here on social media, podcast media. Hell of a card tonight. What's going on, good brother Shannon? You can catch him on Boo Broadcasting with quick hits. We love quick hits, folks. We've got stock best tag team. I hope they're referring to you and I, because we are the world's greatest tag team.
Nobody comes close to us.
No,
it has
nobody.
to mean us.
Has to be us. So I appreciate the comment. We've got Mr. Litness DIY. Yes, indeed, Mr. Litness DIY. We've got good brother Wayne here. Thank goodness. Congratulations to DIY. I'm ready for Theory to be back in singles action. Great point, and that's a great topic that Keith's talking about here. What happens next with Theory and Grayson Waller? I'm putting my bottom dollar on it, Mr. Jones, that Theory and Waller are going to have some beef this summer.
Oh, we're going to get an amazing feud between the two of them.
Oh, I think it's going to be money. And hear me out. The agenda has been clear for a while, folks. If you know me, you follow me. I have been clamoring to see Austin Theory be a baby face. And I think Theory as a face is the proper direction. He has charisma, ladies and gentlemen. As much as you may want to discredit him, he has the charisma. I think he could do it. I think he could be a guy that, down the line, a young baby face in the pipeline. And I think Grayson Waller is the perfect heel adversary to pair up together. So I like the thought process, Keith. Listen, we got Money in the Bank tomorrow. All right. So we, of course, have to start off Friday Night SmackDown with main event Jey Uso. Yeet. Go ahead, hit it for the one time. There it is.
Stay yeeting.
We stay yeeting everywhere, any place, any chance I get to yeet all over myself if I have to. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nightcap, so don't expect you're going to get anything less than yeeting all over ourselves tonight. So
we clean up. That's all that matters.
We clean up, ladies and gentlemen. We clean up nice. Love that mouthing off with Mike shirt as well, Keith. Great,
Of course.
great plug. You know, he wore the band's tee to see the band perform tonight. So I love to see it, folks. So opening segment saw we got Wayne losing it in the comments. Saw Jey Uso come on out, and following Jey Uso, he says thanks to Canada for letting him in. So, in case anyone knows, Jey Uso, kind of a bad boy outside of the ring. So there's always a question mark when we get to these premium live events that are outside of the country. Who's going to be able to make an appearance. So I'm glad to see Jey was there, but he's not alone for much longer, folks, because you got LA Knight. Yeah. You got Andrade El Idolo. You got Carmelo Hayes. You got all of the Money in the Bank ladder match men's participants come out. Drew McIntyre's here. Chad Gable's here. No Wyatt Six. So
I was surprised about that.
I also was surprised about it. If you caught the predictions for mouthing off with Mike on Money in the Bank, I'm thinking they kidnapped Chad. But that's just a fan theory, a fantasy booking. But everyone brawls. At the end of the night, the yeah and the yeet are the last two men standing in the ring. I've already went through the predictions. I think Jey Uso is going to win. Keith, while we got you here on the show for the first time ever, actually, this is a first for Keith and I. Known him my whole life. I've had mouthing off with Mike for a year, but now finally he does me the pleasure of coming on the show. So I thank him. But if you look at all of these competitors, who do you got? Who's your favorite to win this match?
It can go two ways for me. I would really like to see main event Jey Uso win, get that Money in the Bank eat case. But if we do have Chad getting taken by the Wyatt Six, who's replacing him? Like you said before, Finn Balor. And I know you did mention this in your predictions as well. Finn Balor, him winning wouldn't be too bad. Now I see hashtag the founder. Hashtag the founder.
The founder.
Taking the briefcase, but not the title. I'm going to disagree on that. I think they have made Money in the Bank such a big event because it seems like it's getting a little more hype than it has like last year.
Sure.
I think CM Punk makes an appearance. CM Punk
absolutely.
Drew the Money in the Bank without a doubt in my mind. If it doesn't happen, I will be very shocked.
I think for the most part, if you were to look at the betting odds, I don't know like where you can find them. I'm pretty sure CM Punk is like a huge favorite to show up here and cost. Drew McIntyre. I think the most logical place is that, Drew gets screwed over by Punk in the ladder match. He's about to get the briefcase. Punk, pushes the ladder over. I know a lot of people have been spitballing, AJ Lee. I know Tortellini, when we did our predictions on mouthing off with Mike, she said Larry might get involved. You gotta keep an eye out, what the dog doing, right? I think betting odds favorite is Jey Uso. I think main event Jey Uso makes a lot of sense in grand scheme of things. The founder is talking. He said Drew's taking the briefcase, but not the title, and I think he's wrong. So the founder's wrong. He likes his new hashtag, though, folks. He likes his new hashtag, but not keep disagreeing with him. So the founder might be pulling the plug on the nightcap. Doesn't cost Drew the briefcase, but costs Drew the cash in. I don't know if WWE wants to waste the cash in on this storyline. I think you're better off having Punk screw Drew in the Money in the Bank ladder match to begin with. Happy SmackDown Friday to you, Derek. I hope you enjoyed SmackDown. Thanks for joining us here this week on the Nightcap. And Wayne, it's interesting that Jey, Drew, and Knight all need wins. He's taken Jey. So there you have it, folks. A lot of people in favor of main event Jey Uso in Money in the Bank. Good opening segment to SmackDown, though. If
I can make one comment, I do agree LA Knight needs the win. When are we going to let him have a run? When are we going to let him have one? I need it. One LA Knight run with a title. Whole places, everywhere he goes, will erupt.
Agreed.
We need it, but now that championship is not the first title we should be putting on LA Knight, and now is not the time.
No, I agree. The first championship that should be put on him is the U.S. title, and I think LA Knight, as much as I want to see him win Money in the Bank, Knight for U.S. champ, here it is. Perfect. Wayne segued me right in, and I didn't even ask for it. Yeah, LA Knight. I think Logan Paul cost LA Knight his chance in this match. I think you're going to see a really chaotic. I don't like using the term overbooked because, like, if it's done well, it's not overbooked. But I think you're going to see a lot of convoluted things take place in Money in the Bank. But let's get back to the action on Friday Night SmackDown. In the words of our boy Pat McAfee, we had the Street Profits take on Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy. Love to see the Pretty Deadly Boys back on television these last 2 weeks. Super underrated. I think those are guys in a couple of years you're going to be talking big things. Street Profits move up in the tag rankings with a win. Keith, I've been fairly disappointed in the way that they've kind of been showcasing the Street Profits. Do you feel the same? Would you like to see a little bit more from the Street Profits on SmackDown?
I definitely want to see more. Montez Ford is an absolute animal. He's an absolute animal. I do agree with the hashtag the founder. They should have pulled the trigger. But with the Street Profits, Ford's an animal. When he got tagged in that hot tag, and he just was in that ring just like an absolute bulldog. I wanted more of that. But we're not getting that. Same thing with Pretty Deadly. I know this is their first time back in a while, and they looked great. I thought they were going to get the win because it's first time back in a while, but I'm not upset with how that ended.
I'm not. I think Pretty Deadly's a tag team that, if you really look at the work of art, they're a team that they can deal with those losses. They rebound from losses fairly quick. Back to the Money in the Bank, going with Master Gable, Sean Lucas. Shout out to Sean. He joined me on the NXT Nightcap version this past week. Still waiting for that Gable push. I think it's coming soon, man. They're going to have to wrap up the Wyatt Six stuff. The founder wants a Montez singles run. Make it happen. Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate. I think Angelo Dawkins is just as good, if not the same level as Montez Ford. So I wouldn't be mad at either of them getting a singles run down the line. Tonight, SmackDown was tag team wrestling focused. We had Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae take on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, who are also looking to get back in the mix for the women's tag team championship. They lost those titles at Clash at the Castle to Alba and Isla. They were never pinned or submitted. They've got a stake for a rematch. They get a big win here against Indy and Candice. It was kind of a fast match, but still a good showcase for Jade and Bianca. Are you liking the pairing of Jade and Bianca up to this point, Keith?
I do. I like the pairing between the two of them. I think they have great chemistry together. I think Bianca really elevates Jade. I do agree Pretty Deadly is a sneaky good tag team. And
I agree as well, Derek.
I'm hoping that we do in the future see them with titles. I'll say it right now. I think Pretty Deadly would have a nice title run.
I think so too.
But with Jade and Bianca, I really do think Bianca elevates Jade in the ring, where she still struggles a little bit. She's light years better than what we were seeing in the other place. But the place that shall not be named. But I think having Bianca with her is really showing her like the right things to do, when to do it. And we even saw Jade give Bianca a little bump to get on the turnbuckles at the end there.
We did.
So she was calling the shots. So that was nice to see. And I really do like the pairing. I think they're growing well together. Good
eye, Keith. See, you love to see it, folks. My man streams RuneScape, old school RuneScape. You know, we're taking it back here, folks. Man's a firm believer in keeping the classics alive. So make sure you check him out on Twitch and stream his stuff. He talks wrestling here and there, so you might hear his hot takes and maybe some freezing cold takes sometimes with
Never
Keith.
cold.
Never cold. Always hot. It's the Nightcap, baby. We're always hot here. Listen, I love Bianca and Jade. I think that pairing is genius. I think you have, like Keith said, a great foundation with Bianca. She can help her fill in those missing spots. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And for that inevitable match down the line between the two of them, obviously, I hope it doesn't happen for quite some time. I want them to kind of flourish, do their own stuff for a little bit. But when those two face off, you know, it's going to be aura, mana, vibes. You know, when you get that WrestleMania face-off, it's going to be something special. Well, keeping up with the trend, folks, we have Money in the Bank tomorrow. You can catch all of the predictions on my YouTube. You can catch all the predictions on Boom Broadcasting as well with the Drop the Mic Wrestling podcast, the Founders podcast. So make sure you show him some love. Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton are going to talk here tonight before their 6-man tag match at Money in the Bank, which I was under the impression it was going to be a face-to-face with the Bloodline. That was not the case. Cody goes on to just talk up the crowd. Hey, Toronto and WWE, a great fit, doing Cody Rhodes, squeaky clean babyface things. Randy Orton tells the crowd he's planning on ending this match with the 3 most deadliest letters in sports, entertainment, and wrestling, an RKO. And Kevin Owens. Thoughts and prayers go out to Kevin Owens and his family, because Kevin Owens let us know tonight that his mother was hospitalized earlier this week, and he has been bouncing back and forth to Quebec to be at her bedside with his family. And he is still going to be wrestling in Money in the Bank. So I want to send special, thoughts and prayers to Kevin Owens and his family during this time. It's something I can relate to. I'm not going to get it too much into my personal life, but I know what it's like, to have a mom, who's sick and you don't know what's going to happen. So thoughts and prayers to him. But great way to hype up the match for tomorrow. We kind of talked in the predictions. I think the Bloodliners are going to win. Keith, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow at Money in the Bank? And we'll kind of keep it quick.
Going into SmackDown, thought it was going to be the Bloodline. Listening to Kevin Owens absolutely pouring his heart out for everybody in Toronto and at home, I don't know now. Because I said earlier, Triple H loves the storybook.
Sure.
This is a great storybook for Kevin. It's a great storybook for Cody and Randy. I still think somehow something will happen that Solo will end up getting the win here. Specifically Solo.
There's shenanigans afoot here. Listen, we'll get into a little bit about the tribal chief. He's not my tribal chief. I don't claim him as my tribal chief. He's claiming it himself. We'll get into that because that's what ended SmackDown, not the main event with Theory, Waller, and DIY, but in fact, Solo Sikoa with a pre-videotape. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. We had Bayley with Naomi take on Piper Niven with Chelsea Green. This was another device to get the Money in the Bank women's competitors kind of scattered around the ringside. We had Zoe Stark and Io in the crowd. Obviously, you had Naomi with Bayley, Chelsea with Piper. Everything breaks down into pure chaos when Tiffy time comes on down. They brawl outside of the ring. Bayley gets the win after all the chaos is said and done. What are your thoughts here with this women's ladder match? We'll get your pick on this, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the chaos we saw tonight.
I think it's an interesting group for this Money in the Bank. I think it can really go multiple ways. My money's on one person, though. Chelsea Green. I need to see her with the briefcase. I need to see her with the title. I've been talking about it a lot tonight. Seeing certain people with titles, she would have a great heel run with that title. And I think it would be hilarious. All we would need is Samantha Irving back to announce her name.
I know. I don't like that they put it in the beginning of Chelsea's song now. I liked when it was like the shh, it's Chelsea. And then, you had Samantha do the introduction for her. I don't like that they added it into the song itself. Let Chelsea cook. Chelsea is who we all want. All this Money in the Bank talks makes me think we should get a Money in the Bank nightcap. Well, founder, you want it. You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. We're going to make it happen for the people tomorrow. Following the Money in the Bank premium live event, you can catch me with a mystery panel. We're gonna open the floodgates a little bit. We're gonna get a couple more faces, get a couple more bodies here on the nightcap with Malinoff, with Mike.
The freaks come out at night.
How you doing? The freaks come out at night. You're going to get yourself a Money in the Bank nightcap, and we'll see who walks in, walks out with championships or potential briefcase, and who's maybe going to be leaving a little unhappy. Looks like the chat, Chelsea Green for Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank nightcap. Let's go. A whole panel. The founder's shocked. I've got the founder locked away here tonight. I don't want him ruining the vibes tonight on the nightcap. He actually won. We're going off on a sidebar here. He actually won Bloodline Rules on the East Side bracket. So Mike will be taking on me in the tournament of the 2 heads, 1 table finals for the Internet Wrestling Community Promo battle. So, Mike, you better polish yourself, your promos up. You better get your pen and paper down. You better start writing some promos, my man. We got Mr. Litness, a Money in the Bank Nightcap. Let's go. I appreciate you, Mr. Litness. Look, we got to talk about Nia Jax actually attacked Bayley after this, but Michin made the save. I wanted this on the kickoff show, Keith. You're right here talking with me before we went on air, and I told you this should be on the kickoff show. They kind of snubbed Michin on the Heatwave show. That street fight with Jada Parker was chef's kiss. Michin, Nia Jax next week. Let them cook. Let Michin cook.
Let Michin cook. This is giving them the opportunity to be seen by more people.
I agree. More people, more eyes. And Michin, she's super underrated, guys. Like, legitimately, I feel that, I had an agenda myself. I wanted Lash Legend to win the North American Women's Championship. But to be honest, after these last couple of weeks with seeing Michin wrestle on NXT and SmackDown, put her in the mix, man. Give her a championship, soon, because she's super underrated. And to wrap things up here on your Friday night nightcap for SmackDown, Solo Sikoa cuts a video package vignette with the Bloodline. He's sitting at the head of the table tonight, folks. He's sitting at the head of the table. He's got the Oahu beads. I'm gonna mispronounce it. I'm sorry. He's got the tribal chief beads, right? He's got the family's heirloom around his neck. And he says Roman Reigns is not man enough to be the tribal chief. Keith, what do you have to say to that man, Solo Sikoa? We need a Liddy in the bank. Hey, we need a Liddy in the bank. Litness, coming up on social media, @WM_podcast. We can chat it up. Get you on a panel. We'll talk some business.
I think Solo needs to remember who put food on his plate for how many years. Who fed the family? Who protected the family? Who gave the family the island of relevancy? And then think about who's man enough. That's what I think.
Folks, is my man not spitting? Is he not spitting 100% here, ladies and gentlemen? Because he hit the nail on the head, folks. My man Solo, his ego, his head, it got too big these last couple of years. He was called in by the elders at Clash at the Castle 2 years ago to help Roman Reigns. He became the enforcer to the tribal chief, and now he thinks he's him. He thinks he's the tribal chief, and he's already banished one of his brothers, Jimmy Uso. They beat down Jimmy Uso a few months ago. So a lot of questions to be asked here and answered, because Wayne hit it. He said it. Solo called Roman out for the first time tonight. Tonight was the first night that Solo actually threw some shade. I don't know how things are going to play out at Money in the Bank, Keith, but it sounds like this tribal civil war is coming up real soon. Do you expect Roman to show up tomorrow at Money in the Bank? I don't think so.
No,
what do you
not
think?
Not Roman. If I hate to say it like that, if Jimmy is able to be in Toronto, then I think it's going to be Jimmy. I think we're going to be seeing the first little bits of the real bloodline showing themselves and inserting themselves in Solo's business, because now he called out the tribal chief. Now it's war. This was a declaration of war tonight. And we're going to see so much come from this that is going to be fantastic. And I think Jimmy opens that up tomorrow night.
Ooh, I like it. Solo Sikoa, folks, I'm looking at you. I'm looking right into your souls here tonight. My man hits you with the Solo has declared. It was a declaration of war tonight. And Keith is spitting. Wayne, I agree. If the Wyatt Six don't go after Solo for the disrespect that he's shown his family, where are we going? I agree, ladies and gentlemen. I think Solo is the next on the quote-unquote hit list for the Wyatt Six, but that's not before they teach Chad Gable a lesson here, because they're not finished with Chad Gable whatsoever. This has just begun with Chad and Wyatt 6. And if my fantasy booking is right, they're going to have something to play a part of tomorrow at Money in the Bank, because I don't think Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy will reward such mistreatment of a family than to allow him to participate in this ladder match, let alone allow him to win that briefcase. Why should the man who mistreats his family be rewarded? He should be punished. Keep an eye on it, folks. We might be cooking. We got Allen Tribal War. It's coming, folks. It's coming. Get me more Keith on the nightcaps, please. The founder wants more of Gustavo. They want more of you. The founder, hashtag founder, has spoken. Solo thinking that he's Scarface. You want to go to war? You want a war? You don't know who you're playing with. Love your take, Mike. Hope you're right. Hey, man, I hope I'm right. I just like to yap about the grass, man. I'm a big yapper. But I'm going to let you guys kind of yap tonight. What do you guys want to talk about? We've got 5 minutes. What do you guys want me to talk about? Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Check out your banner. What do you want to hear? Mouthing off with Mike and Keith talk about the world's greatest tag team since the world's greatest tag team, folks.
There's been no one better. There'll be no one better.
Nobody better than us, baby. Ain't nobody better than me. I guess the people don't want to hear. They don't want to see their comments. They don't want to see their thoughts pop up. I guess we're gonna have to round things down. So, Nightcap, what do you want to talk about? Listen, I want to talk a little bit about Boom Broadcasting. If we're being honest, I want to plug Boom Broadcasting. We got these titles here. So, look, you've heard us talk a lot about the founder, Michael B. Davis, Michael Davis, I should say, butchering the founder's name. I'm getting fined. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, this Boom Broadcasting, this is the new thing, folks. You're going to see a lot more content. There is going to be content for everybody and anybody. If you want wrestling, we've got multiple shows. You've got live recaps with me at night, so you get to see and hear this pretty voice lull you to sleep. If you want sports takes, we got that with Adapok. You want quick hits, you want silliness, commentary on the world, we've got you with Shannon Smith and Quick Hits. You want a cooking show, folks? We've got you with Schneider's Corner, a cooking show coming in the next couple months. We've got content just to fulfill any little niche, any little bit of appetite that you got. And there's much more coming down the pipeline because, ladies and gentlemen, podcasting and sports and pro wrestling is in its boom era, as the Swifties like to talk about. Derek, let's talk about, since A-Town Down Under lost the championship, do you sense some tension between them? Absolutely, Derek. I sense massive amount of tension. You know, I didn't talk about it earlier, but there was a backstage promo with Theory and Waller, and my man Grayson Waller might be the king of gaslighting. He gaslighted Theory into thinking like he's got his back. Oh, don't worry, man. Like, you're going to let them put a branch in between us. You're going to put that gap between us. They're just trying to get in your head. They're trying to take you off our game. He's gaslighting this man. You got Johnny Gargano, who I think Theory trusts, and I think he heard that. So I think there's massive tension. You might have missed earlier on the Nightcap, Derek, but we talked a little bit about Theory turning as a baby face. It's something that I've personally wanted. I saw him interact with some kids and some Make-A-Wish kids backstage like a few months, maybe almost like a year ago. And he was just so open and so nice. And I was like, I want to see this side of Theory. I want to see babyface Theory. I think there's more meat on the bone for him in that department than there is maybe for him being a snarky, I'm better than you. Like, I'm handsomer, I'm all these things. And I think Grayson fits that a little bit better. I think Grayson kind of fulfilled that Theory heel character. And I think Theory might just switch to that babyface level. We've got the founder. He doesn't know if Theory thrives as a babyface, but I'm interested in how the split works. Grayson Waller, an undercover hater, maybe a hater of the year candidate. Derek, good shout. Listen, you want to talk about hating? Waller pulled up to SmackDown tonight in Toronto, formerly Drake City, bumping Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar. Listen, the 6 is no longer Drake City. I'm sorry. Kendrick owns all of Toronto and any subsidiaries that may have been affiliated with OVO. I don't make the rules, folks. It's happened. It's too late. Theory as a face would be great. Shout out to Matt on Facebook. We are hitting a record here, ladies and gentlemen. For the first time on Boom Broadcasting's The Nightcap, hosted by yours truly, we have hit over 100 viewers. So I want to thank all of you from all across our social media platforms for engaging with us, for listening to us, for watching us late night on the East Coast. Not really late so night on the West Coast for us, but I want to thank all of you for coming in here tonight, giving us your thoughts, chopping it up with us, and the support. It does not go unnoticed. I love each and every single one of you for it. We love you here at Mouthing Off with Mike. Make sure you check out Gustavo on Twitch. He will be streaming some old school RuneScape. If you didn't know, RuneScape is still a thing, and it is still popping. Listen, got to give that man some runes. Check him out on Twitch weekly. Check me out on Mouthing Off with Mike and Boom Broadcasting nightly with the Nightcap. Folks, and remember, there's 100+ of you listening and watching across social media. So I'm going to tell you right now, 200 subscribers to Boom Broadcasting, 200 subscribers to my channel, Mouthing Off with Mike, you get the Dirty Dom stash. I'm bringing out Dirty Mike Mysterio, Dirty Mouthing Off with Mike Mysterio's coming out. You're going to get the stash in its full glory. And thank you so much, Derek. Another great show. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow after Money in the Bank, and we'll see who's going to be happy and who's going to be pissed. Thank you so much. Thank you, Keith. Much love to all of you. Of course, my brother. Anytime. Go out there, folks, and enjoy some pro wrestling this week. We're out of here.